Welcome to Roots and Wings Travel. My name is Becky, Travis is behind the camera, and we travel with our daughter Teddy. It's been a little while since we posted a video because we were busy doing life and farm things here in Saskatchewan, but we thought May long weekend here in Canada would be the perfect time to show off our VW Westfalia van. We got this van in 2019. We found it out in Alberta, and we thought we were so lucky to have found in 1991, the last year that Volkswagen made the van again. It is the 4-speed transmission with the water-cooled engine, and it just has a lot of the features that Travis was really looking for once he started doing a lot of research when he knew how much I loved Volkswagen vans and buses and how much I wanted one. So this is the inside, the driver's side. We've got our big old steering wheel. One modification that Travis did for us was to add the cruise control, which is a really nice feature on those long drives. Another thing that Travis added in was the USB hookups, and other than that, everything's pretty straightforward. I guess we have our little Bluetooth so we can use our phones hands-free. We did get this little sticker so that we would know what the gauges here all meant, or it was just like really straightforward. That way we can use it, and I still have to look at it all the time because I forget what they're all for. And yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward 1991 type of vehicle.
So we're at the front of the van, and in 1991 they had electrical problems with their lights, so we had to upgrade and add relays in for the light bulbs. Seems like on a Volkswagen in the van world there's always something going wrong with these machines, but we're working towards fixing them. This van came with original 14-inch wheels. This has been upgraded to 16-inch wheels, and helps with the ride, a little better speed gear ratio. This van runs down the highway in 4 speeds, so in the 4th gear it runs at a very high RPM, which is hard on fuel. So that's why they went to a 5-speed that was an option. We've upgraded the windows, so we've put tinted windows in, and actually this molding strip here, it was deteriorated. It's made out of plastic. We had to change all these moldings, and it was actually a very time-consuming, laborsome job changing these moldings. They're called a locking strip. And then down below here, I had my brother Ryan did a bunch of auto body work and repair. There was a water tank in here that you can fill for your sink, and the water tank had leaked down and rusted this bottom panel out. So it was replaced, and underneath here we have our propane tank, which it runs the kitchen. So in this area you can tell this is a Canadian model. On the Canadian model there's 1, 2, and 3 locations. And in an American model there's 1, 2, and 3. Also, this one has your vent for your exhaust for our burner inside, and as you can see, Teddy's got our electrical power at the bottom. This one here is for fresh water, and this one here is for city hookup. Okay. So in my rebuilding of this van, we've had to do all new brakes, new wheel bearings, new axle shafts, new CV joints, and new bushings in the sway arm back here. And then in the front of the van up here, we've done track bars, we've done upper A-arm bushings, lower A-arm bushings, new wheel bearings, new shafts. Just everything that could be done was been replaced on the whole. Everything except the only thing that's original on the front would be the steering rack and pinion system, and sometimes it leaks a bit. Maybe it will be coming in as a new 2024 project. We're just going to point out some accessories that I put on the van. So we've actually made a custom top roof rack. There's a tule we've mounted on the driver's side so you can access it from the door. I found these on Kijiji. These they're actually for kayaks, but we actually use them for the sup boards, the stand-up paddle boards, and I can put 2 of them on there together, and they actually extend out, so they're really handy. It's in further up top. I actually put another, they call it a Rotopack kit, and what it is, it's for fuel storage. So I do keep up a little fuel up here just in case we do run out of fuel, which we haven't yet, but On the back here, we have a Thule Pro, which is a 2-bike carrier kit. We put this awning on. This is a 10-foot awning. We actually ordered this from VW Westy, and we got these stainless steel brackets to hold on. It's called a drip edge mounting kit, and that's actually a good kit. And then on the side of the van, we have more mounting, so once we have the awning out, the prop rods can hang in here. We're actually going to the engine compartment on the van, and on these models the motor is in the rear. So prior to 91 all the motors are in the rear. 92 they go to what's called a Eurovan, and a Eurovan has a V6 in the front. This is a 4-cylinder water boxer 2.1 liter motor. So we ended up having to rebuild the entire engine. I actually did all the rebuilding myself. I had to send multiple parts away to different locations to get repaired. Heads were done by my friend over here in our area, Saskatoon. I ordered parts from Toronto. I ordered parts from VW Westy in California. I ordered parts from another place in British Columbia, and so that's pretty much how that works out when you're ordering parts for these things. But now it's a fresh, full rebuild on the engine. It seems to be running really well, and power seems to be good.
A little bit of storage available here at the back of the van too. We've got some overhead storage here where we keep our pie irons. There's an axe up there, just a few little things like that. And then we've got a nice little cupboard here too with a few shelves. Mostly we keep like repair stuff in there too, but we've got some fire starter and our hammocks in there too. So just some really nice storage here at the back of the van. All right, let's get inside this Westfalia and see what there is as the camping features. Here is the bench seat in the back. There are lap belts here, so 4 people can ride in the van. Last year we had a system in place to help anchor the car seat to the bench here. This year she's in a different seat, so we're trying to come up with ways to make it the safest to have her forward-facing seat in the van, but I'm sure lots of people do it, so we will find a way to do that. This is also folds down into the downstairs bed, so I'll show you how that works. So once you've got all the seat belts just tucked in between the seat here, you can easily lift up and it lays down flat into a bed. When we got the van, the cushion that came with it was not here, so we actually got this one custom made by someone locally here. So that's our first bed, but there is one more.
Here we are, we're gonna actually just put it back up. There's a set of springs on the corner, and boom, it's up. We're back to a seat. There is a locking tab here on the front that does hold the seat down.
So while I'm down here, I'll show you some storage. So we've got quite a bit of storage here under the seat. We've got all kinds of things, van related, camping related, tools, little mesh storage. We mostly put our shoes in here. This is from VW Westy as well. And it's good for like our bug spray, anything like that, we just kind of shove in there. Up above here, we've got a big cubby. We use this for a lot of different things. Oh, right now our sunscreen is up here. We've got a CD deck. So I've got all of my CDs from my teenage years, which is fun for road trips. We've got our binder, which has all of the history of repairs and maintenance from as far back as there was that came with the van. So that's kind of cool to have as a record. And then here we've got probably our biggest storage compartment, kind of a closet area. It's quite deep. It does actually have a little hanging bar and a mirror here, which is nice for getting ready because it's really the only mirror I think in the van. Another thing that came with the van that's really great are these window covers, and they're actually like super insulated, so they're good for keeping the heat out. Usually there is a big table that sits on here, which we will show you afterwards. It's just up top right now, but I keep it off because it's just a little bit more effort to get to these two cubbies when the table's on. So right now we just kind of keep odds and ends in these cupboards. This one's a good size storage compartment, and it also gives access to our water storage tank. We mostly just store like food items and stuff like that in there, but it's a nice little spot for storage.
Here we are. Becky's gonna lift the pop top, and we're gonna watch everything go up. So I'll be a part of helping if needed be. Yeah, we're gonna squeeze the tabs where she's got there, and she's just gonna literally push up on the frame. There we go. Good job, Beck.
Help.
We're on the help. Oh, there we go.
Believe it or not, that actually we already, oh, you can't see them from here.
You can see right where Becky's hand is, where we put a shock absorber lift kit on this, which is supposed to increase the lift capacity by 100 to 200 pounds, what we have on right now. So just shows you how much the accessories weigh on the top of the roof. And one thing on the outside, the awning does not lift with the roof.
Okay, so let's make the upstairs bed here. And heading on up to the upstairs, we've got a little stool here, but we can just use the step here. Oh, I've got a helper. Another helper.
And she's up. Where'd she go, Teddy?
Why do I have two tables up there? One
Because there's one for the outside. Where'd she go? So we're up top here. There is a skylight in the center. On this model, this is more of an original top. And when the new ones come out now, you can order them with an extra triangle for wind flow on the sides. And this one has one extra vent on the front for, well, to let the wind through. For on hot days you have some ventilation.
Oh, that instantly feels so good. It's a pretty warm day.
We do have our second spot for our table in here. This is the table that was original for this corner in here. It does swing in a 360-degree motion, and it does take a little bit of effort to get it in there. And there's also a bracket we have that fits in, and it actually can be used on the outside the van, right by the door outside. Getting this table in, I haven't done it for this whole year, so we'll find out if we can make it go.
And one of the final pieces of our Westfalia here is the kitchen unit. So it's an easy lift up right here. And you just brace it. So we've got a little camping sink that we use. But we've got our sink and our 2-burner stove. We actually have never used either of these because we have an outside stove that we use, and we do have that little sink. And I think we've just been a little bit worried about water damage, and we just haven't ever really even tried the propane, just because we've been happy with our system. We like cooking outside, but every year I say, this year we're gonna use it, because I do like the idea of like being able to cook in here. So we will try it one of these years. Okay, the last little part here is the fridge. It's still the original fridge system. A little bit dirty in there. We also have never used the fridge for its real purpose. We've never used it on propane, but this year we did finally hook it up to electric, and it worked. So I was able, oh, they've already melted. I was able to make, actually does have the world's tiniest and most adorable ice cube tray. It did make ice when it was plugged into electric. It has all melted now, but can you just imagine with these cute little ice cubes? I love it. It's perfect Westfalia sized. And then we've just got 2 storage compartments here. We've got a little drawer,
Utensils,
knickknacks, and then our cupboard, which we don't have our stuff in it. We take it out over the winter, but we have all of our plates, pots, pans, cups, everything fits in here. And then maybe a couple grocery items too. So it's very small in size, but we actually can fit quite a bit in here. And one more thing that we love about the Westfalia is this passenger seat turns all the way around.
180 degrees rotating. The driver's seat turns 90 degrees, Underneath the seat on the driver's seat is our accessory battery that runs our lights, and it would run the fridge as needed throughout the night. We did change that to a lithium battery last year.
So we've got this little spot right here is where the pipe and the table can fit in. So you can have like a table or a workspace when you're at the front in the seats. Or this table that we have here, if you swing it out the long way, it actually, one person can sit on the bench and one person can sit on the chair, or we do it usually when we have our cooler here. One person can sit on the cooler, and it's just like this big open space.
One thing that's a fun fact on these Vanagons is you're actually in the seat on the passenger and driver is the front wheels underneath you. So it's kind of like a cab over truck style. So you feel all the bumps while you're in it. Hence, we were talking about all the Travis work. I put new shocks underneath the front and the rear, and all the bushings had to be replaced. So it rides really well now for the style of van it is. The first weekend we actually got to pick this van. We put a permit on it and drove it out to Canmore. It was a cold spring, and I remember being in the van and being able to change our clothes in here as we were going out for a hike. I thought it was really something, was really worthwhile having a nice interior space to work and change and enjoy.
And one other thing that we really love about the Westfalia, as Travis mentioned, we just love having this space for when we're out and about. Like, we just come in here and feel like we're at home. And then also the other thing that we just love is like the vibe of being VW owners. When you are on the road and you meet another VW coming towards you, and you just know that they're probably in there hot and sweaty, and their little engine is working so hard to keep up to highway speed, and you give a shaka or a peace sign or just a giant wave, like, that's just a cool vibe that you don't get from pulling a camper or
driving your F-150.
Yeah, it's just not the same. There's nothing like it. We just love being a part of the Westfalia community, and we think it's just something so special. Having a van like this is just something, a dream that I always had as a young kid. I never actually thought it would happen, but having a husband that is so handy and so willing has just made it possible, and we're so lucky to have this. I'm so lucky to have someone that's willing to go along on the dream with me, and yeah, hopefully this has been a good video. You've got to see the inside and outside of our van, as well as all the modifications that Travis has done.
There's a couple more features we're going to add this year. Our plan, we've got a diesel heater that's going to blow air in the cab. It's another idea that I've seen lots of people that own these vans are putting in right now. So the whole idea with this is to be able to go spring camping a little further up in timeline. So maybe we actually get to go in a very start of June out here in Canada, or end of May if we're really lucky, and then that'll keep us warm at night. So they're temperature controlled. We're also going to add a second set of shocks up top for the lifting of this. We also have our prop rod holder. What this does is, this is our rod for the awning, and the awning is very easy to open. We just hook it in here on this ball and socket.
Okay, and there's our setup.
We've got the awning out. There is a prop rod in the center, so if there was rain, we would put that in.
So that's our Westfalia. We really love it. We hope you enjoyed the little tour of it. We're a bit wild in here with cats and babies climbing around and making noise, but nonetheless, we hope that this kind of showed you what Westy life is like. And stay tuned on our channel. We have some fun camping coming up in the van, so we'd love to take you along with us on